I'm going to invite one last speaker, Hubert du MESNIL. Apologies for the atrocious pronunciation there. Who's the chairman of IDG. He's going to give a wrap-up of the day's proceedings. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Good evening. I ought to speak in French, but I am afraid the translators are tired and maybe out of the room. No? They are here? Well, so I speak partly in French and partly in English. The day has been very long, so I'm sure that you wish I make it no longer. So I have to be very brief and to say only 2 or 3 things. First of all is to say thanks. Thanks to Comité Europlace, thanks to the staff who prepared the day, thanks to the speakers all along the day, and thanks to the attendance, mainly thanks to you, because you are the survivors of the public at the end of the day, and congratulations for your courage. I am the chairman of Institut de la Gestion Déléguée. Maybe some of you, of course, those who are not French, ask what is the sense of this expression. Let's say it's the French PPP Institute. This foundation is a foundation who gathers all the stakeholders of the PPP business, public authorities, companies, and a lot of experts and people involved in PPP. And we are done to promote a good use of the PPP. At the end of the day, I will keep in mind only 4 points. First of all, the need of infrastructure is recognized in very large consensus. I'm making a special point of the French situation, and I don't speak of the French situation because we have at this time a political debate which has been launched by the government and the Ministry of Infrastructure, Transport, and also by the government itself. We have a political debate about the future of the infrastructure needs in the country. We will have this debate in the parliament, and I'm not sure that everybody is on the same position about it. But let's the democracy make its job, and let the parliament conclude this political debate about the future of the infrastructure in the country. If I take part in the French situation, all along the day we heard that the needs of infrastructure in the world are huge. But, and second point, it's not the same today than yesterday. There is a move in the needs. There is a diversification in the needs. In a geographical point of view, of course, emerging countries were evocated along the day, but also in the mature countries. For instance, we have some contacts this week with the Japanese delegation. I am happy to say something to them today and this evening. And the Japan is working on the PPP evolution in their own country, thinking that the needs of the infrastructure and also the funds question issues need to evolve and make some innovation in the way of investing in Japan. The needs are evolving, and also the sectors, the areas are evolving. Of course, we evocated all along the day the traditional area of transportation since the 19th century, but also the new ones like energy transition or numeric network. Third consideration, Mrs. Renaud-Bassot spoke, of course, of the French competence in the country, city of Paris, and in the side of the engineering companies and building companies, and in the other side of funding companies and banks. I just want to gave memory in my mind. When I was the chairman and CEO of RFF, I signed 4 PPPs contracts in 3 years for an total amount of 18 billion euros. It was just at the time of the financial crisis of 2008. And when I see that we succeeded in concluding these contracts during the crisis, I think it's the best demonstration that it's possible to do it even if we are in a difficult period. And I must tell you that I was very proud to conclude this contract at the moment where the world, Europe of course, but the world also, were plunged in a very big crisis. I must mention a special day that if we did succeed to do it, it's mainly because of a good relationship and a good work with the public and the private funding institutions. I must say that it's because we had the support of BEI and also of Caisse des Dépôts that we tried to go crossing this very difficult period. So we have the competence in all this area of technical, financial competence. We have this competence. But, and it will be my last point, if we agree that we have to let a bigger place to the private sector, I think that all along the day everybody agreed with that, even the public authorities. I think that we have to take care of the contract. We think in the PPP Institute that one of the key for the success is intelligent and resilient contract. In a way that we keep the respect of the contract on the public side and the private side, we will keep the respect of the contract if the contract is intelligent and resilient. And to get such a good contract, I think that the private operators need to have a public framework stable in any kind of aspect. And also, I must mention it in the tax point of view. And I will end this very short, very brief speech by expecting a better commitment of the European institutions to make this framework at a European level as intelligent and as resilient as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duménil. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of you to be with us so late. Thank you to our maître de cérémonie for this afternoon, who is coming from Berlin. And thank you to all the speakers. Thank you to our sponsors. You have the list of the sponsors. And thank you to our team, to Michel Cogent, who made a very big job. And yeah. And the team of Paris Europlace for the organization, Laura Vito, Nadine Huyn, Françoise Chamard, Ignacio Figueras, who participated to the organization of this event. And thank you to the Ministry of Finance for this wonderful room for the conference. So we will continue our work on this subject. Thank you to Pierre Sorbet from HSBC, who is working with us on a day-to-day basis to prepare all the thinking of our group. And so we welcome you to continue to participate to our different working groups on these issues. We will prepare some next working papers and connections with public authorities in France and on European level on this subject. We will share views with other European countries, and we will prepare our next edition next year of this forum, which is now an annual meeting of Paris with the infrastructure world. So thank you to everybody, and now time for drinks.